Alright, hey everybody. I know you didn't really ask for this. Well, nobody asked for this, but thought I'd do a rig rundown because I've never really done a rig rundown before. I've done a pedal board rundown, but I've never done a rig rundown, so we'll see how this goes. Um, Before we get into any of like the guitar stuff, I thought I'd do some so I have a SoundCloud, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. But what I use to record my stuff is this microphone. So this is a Zoom H1 portable microphone, and it's very easy to use, which is why I got it. It's not very expensive. It's probably only $100. Um, so yeah, these are the contact area. This is where sound comes in. There's these two stereo microphones here. Um, and yeah, it's just really easy to use. It takes a micro SD card right here. I don't know if you can see that. You can pop it open. Um, but yeah, it's very easy to use. I basically just put this end right up to the speaker of the amp, and that's how I record my songs. And then I just do everything live. Um, it might be it's kind of like a cheap ghetto way of recording stuff, but I mean I think it's very easy and it gets the job done. And then for my videos I use this camera. It's attached to a tripod, but this is a Nikon D3300. I got this, I can't remember, probably about like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And it's a great camera. I mean, it does some really good video stuff, and I've used this for everything, basically. I use this for everything. Um, yeah, so that's the camera that I use. Um, all right, now on to the stuff. I'm going to start out with guitars. So these are the two guitars I have. Um, there's this one, which it's not. I like to call it a Strat, but it's not really a Strat. I block out the headstock because it's a really cheap guitar. But I mean, I don't really. I mean, it doesn't sound bad. It sounds decent enough. So yeah. So those two single coil pickups are stock, and then that's a Seymour Duncan. It's the Seymour Duncan Hot Rails in the bridge, which is a higher output pickup. And I like higher output pickups just because, when you're doing some looping or, well, sometimes with looping and with other stuff, it's nice to have a little push to push the amp a little bit with the pickups. So I really like this guitar. It's my first guitar, actually, my very first guitar. And then here's my other one, which is my SG, my black SG, which looks so badass. So that has another. So this pickup is stock, so it's stock neck pickup, and then in the bridge it's a Seymour Duncan distortion, which again is the reason I got a Seymour Duncan distortion was because it has similar output to the Hot Rails, so it has the same output, whatever you'd call it. And they're pretty similar, except obviously that one's single coil. This is a humbucker. So yeah, it's a very awesome guitar. I like SGs a lot, which is why I got it. All right, now let's move on to well, I don't really want to talk about my amp because it's a really cheap amp. It's a PV Viper. It's a modeling amp, and people might give me shit about this, but I mean, it's an amp. It gets the job done. I don't really complain a lot. And I usually have just a really clean setting on there with a little bit of reverb just to give some space to whatever I'm playing. Yeah, some people might ask about this. It's just a huge box. This is my pedal board case. In there, it's basically just like, you know, piece of plywood that I used to put my pedals on. But this is my pedal board case. I did some, oh God, I had a soldering iron. I basically just etched some stuff into the wood. So there's my initials. There's a square face with a tongue out. Then I also decorated with some stickers, Reverb.com, Dwarfcraft. I actually met these people, Ben and Luis. They're awesome. And then I have Chicago Music Exchange. They're awesome. Cattle and Bread. Need to show them love for the Bell Epoch. Same with Earthquaker Devices. They make good stuff. So yeah, pedals wise. So what I've just been messing around with this stuff right now. So yeah, I have the Earthquaker Devices Acapulco Gold. This thing is amazing. It has just one big, huge ass knob, and that controls the output volume. This thing is dope. If you ever want that stoner rock sound, get this pedal. It does that really well. It's supposed to model the sound of a Sun Model T amplifier. So yeah, thumbs up there. And then I just have this standard Boss Chorus CE5, just standard chorus sounds. And then I have the Dwarfcraft Devices Wizard of Pitch, which is really awesome. It's not really your average pitch shifter. It does other weird stuff. So yeah, just check out some demos of it, I guess. And then this is the Electro-Harmonic Stereo Pulsar. I've had this thing forever. It's a really great tremolo. You can get you can actually control a lot with this thing. You can control different waveforms. It's just a really cool tremolo. And then this, I've actually had this pedal forever. The RC1 Loop Station by Boss. I would say this one of my first pedals, just because, without a looper, you're pretty much shit out of luck. If if you want to be a solo artist, you need a looper if you want to do like solo stuff like I do. And then also I have some pedals up here. So, Bell Epoch delay, best delay ever. It's so awesome. I love the sound that this makes. It is just so good, and I've never played an Echoplex EP3, but damn, this is awesome. I recommend this if you're a fan of tape delays, and especially the EP3 Echoplex. This thing is really awesome. Or if you just want a good sounding delay, this is a good sounding delay. And then I recently got this probably almost a week ago. This is the Digitech Obscura, and basically I just wanted another delay, because I feel like it'd be a good idea to have two delays, on my board. So, if I travel or whatever. And also because this one has a lot of features. It has longer delay time, up to 2 seconds of delay time, which I really like. Kind of do some sound on sound looping. So you have different modes. You have analog, tape, lo-fi, and reverse. The reverse sounds awesome, and I also like the analog a lot. Same with the tape. Well, actually, everything about this pedal sounds awesome. I love how it looks. I mean, those graphics are just amazing. So yeah, this is an awesome delay. So yeah, I have 2 delay pedals now. What else should I show you? Cables. Oh yeah. Stuff down here. These are boxes and such. But the 2 synthesizer things that I use. This is a drone synthesizer. It's by a guy. He makes these things out in, I can't remember, it's somewhere in California, I know, or Washington, somewhere around there. This is a drone, basically a drone synthesizer. There's really not much to it. Basically just turn it on and it just drones away, and you have two square wave oscillators which you can control the pitch of with these knobs right here. This is a low pass filter, I believe, and then this is volume, and then this is the LFO rate knob, and then you can turn off LFO, turn on LFO. It's very subtle LFO though, you can barely hear it, but still really good for adding layers of stuff and to make a drone to play over. I know I've done that sometimes. I've ran this through my pedal board and I've looped it, and then I've, plugged my guitar back in, and then I've, played over this. It's really good for just adding layers, I would say, to stuff. And then I got this, my Korg Volca FM synthesizer. This thing is awesome. It's a digital synthesizer. It's not analog. It doesn't have any cut off filter or resonance or whatever. It does have an arpeggiator, which is one of the big reasons why I got it, because I love arpeggiated synth stuff. I love arpeggiators. This is a really great synth. It has a lot of different sounds. It's basically a Yamaha DX7 clone. So it basically has similar sounds to Yamaha DX7. Yeah, that's my stuff. I don't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna go.